Hi, I'm Aimée Couto, and I am your Rhode Island State Teacher of the Year. Today, I invite you to join me as I embark on an adventure across the beautiful state of Rhode Island, not in search of hidden treasures or undiscovered landscapes, but rather in pursuit of something far more precious, the stories and wisdoms of the extraordinary teachers who shape the minds and hearts of our future generations. Welcome to Educator on Educator. I'm here at South Kingstown High School, ready to go inside and meet with one of their music teachers, Fritz Benz, the DTOY for South Kingstown. Come with me.
Let's do that from the top.
Thank you so much for joining us. I have Fritz Benz here with us. First off, I wanted to say congratulations.
Thank you.
On being District Teacher of the Year.
And congratulations to you.
It's not an easy feat to be where you are. So tell us a little bit about how you got to this point, being named District Teacher of the Year.
Well, I think that there's a lot of music teachers who have received this honor. I think when I think about this, I realize that many of us share that passion for what we do and who we do it with. We love the music we teach. We get excited. We get generally enthused and excited about what we do. I think that genuine enthusiasm and passion for it comes through in our classroom. I think the kids can pick up on it. And they know that they're preparing this music with us. We take this journey together with them. It's a tremendous bonding experience between and among the students, but also between the teacher and the students, because we're on this journey together. Very lucky to have the kids that I have and the colleagues that I work with. Not really sure how I got the award, other than I know that I was nominated by a parent, I think, and a student. And to honor that nomination, I put my name forth and I did the things that I needed to do. And to my surprise, I was very honored. I really work on a faculty with incredibly talented, dedicated, and really caring people.
Well, I'm not surprised you're sitting in this chair right now with this award, because I can hear in your voice the passion you have. And when you talk about relationships with students, I think about how that's so important in all aspects of education.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the relationship building is something I spend more time thinking about and planning for today than I did even 10 years ago. And I think it's a combination of being a little older and wiser, but also seeing where we, came through the pandemic.
Yes.
And seeing how important those relationships were to help kids feel comfortable and at home in our classrooms. In order to make music, you have to make music with people you're comfortable with and around. We have a lot of very shy students, so it's a constant challenge to reach those students and get them to connect with one another. Because, we've all been there. Sometimes we'll try to engage the kids in conversation.
Yeah, so I don't have the first graders to share.
And in high school, you definitely get that sometimes. And, you have to kind of, you've got to kind of facilitate a certain dialogue and a certain comfort level with them and let them know that this is a safe place to come and be you and find the best of who you are. And that's one of the things they're doing in here, figuring out who they are. And it's exciting to watch. I get a lot of these kids for 4 years in a row, which is really unusual. And that's one of the many reasons why music teachers are so connected to students, and I'm seeing the changes, the positive things that kids can go through and undertake in becoming the person that they're going to be. It's unique. It's unique to those of us that teach music at the secondary level. We do see those same kids quite often. The thing that I tell their parents every year when we have the open houses, I always say, this classroom is a group project every single day. And every single day we work together. And that's unusual. You don't see that in every class. A lot of times group projects are built into the curriculum at different intervals and different activities. But we work together. We set up our instruments together, warm up together, literally read together. We experience the joy together. We experience the frustration together. We get nervous together before we perform. We do everything together. We're constantly connected. I'm going through it with them. So it's not just teaching them and then putting them out on stage in front of hundreds of people. We're all performing together for the audience. So it's a very unique It's a very unique way of life.
And I can see your passion and your energy and how excited you are about being here. Yeah. How do you maintain that?
That's a great question. And I also represent a generation of teachers that are going to be teaching longer than our predecessors. Mm-hmm. So staying engaged, staying positive into your 60s, because I'm almost 60, maintaining that energy and that positivity is really important. And I have this half-joking arrangement with my colleagues. I said to them, if I ever come to work and I'm miserable every day, I said, let me know, because then it's time to retire. But I don't, and I don't, and I want to be the only one when that day comes sometime in the future. I want to be the only one looking forward to that day. I don't want everybody else looking forward to retirement. Right. So, but the way I look at it is, I'm lucky in that, and I think some teachers can do this. I'm lucky in that I stay engaged and excited about the materials that we use, the music we get to study. I might come back to a piece after every 4 years if it's a great piece of music, and discover something new about it, much like an English teacher would rediscover a novel that they love, and that it kind of ignites that passion. Preparing music and sharing it with the community has its own intrinsic excitement and energy that comes with that. And you can't walk through that process. You can't be half engaged with that process. But I know that if I'm not energized, if I'm not engaged, I have a very difficult time doing the job and maintaining the enthusiasm. Just this past summer, I was diving into some jazz theory stuff that I teach at the jazz camp in Newport, which our students go and perform at the Newport Jazz Festival.
Wow, that's so fun.
One of my jobs was to teach jazz theory, which I've taught in little bits and pieces, as the curriculum allowed it, but I had to actually teach jazz theory every day to some really bright kids that really kind of knew some things. So I'm like, I better bone up. And I was able to find some great books. I was able to find videos, unlocked and kind of pieced together a lot of things that I knew, but I needed to refresh on. And I was like, now automatically in my teaching, because of that experience, I've got new approaches to share with my jazz band about how to improvise and how to be creative in the moment. And I also do things outside of music and outside of that. I just started playing golf too.
Wonderful. I want to pick that up. I want to learn.
And it's very humbling. It's very difficult and it's very humbling, but that's a whole world that I get to, now that my kids are grown, I'm not driving them to and from karate and dance and everything else. So now I have an opportunity to kind of engage with that and connect with some friends in my town, and it builds relationships and strengthen relationships outside of work and outside of my normal friend groups.
It makes me think of like that self-care.
Oh, it's great. Right? It's been great. Fresh air, exercise, socialization.
So
it's all been so important. So that's been great. I still play professionally. I play in a band. I've been doing it forever. I play in a band called Brass Attack, which has been around forever. We play all kinds of gigs, and I bring those experiences back to the kids in both my attitude toward the music, what I expect them to aspire to musically. And I think that's always been very helpful for me in my teaching, is that I bring my professional life together with my conducting and my teaching life. So all of that keeps you young. All of that keeps you energized, keeps you engaged with what you do each day. And like I said, it never gets old. This job never gets easy, never gets old.
One of the things you keep saying, and I keep thinking, you were sharing some wisdom that you had. So something that I always say to myself is the minute I don't have anything else to learn in the field of education, I should retire. Yeah. I should get out. Yeah. And I hear that a lot in your voice.
Yeah.
You're constantly bettering yourself.
Yeah. I'm trying to. And that's the cohort of Teachers of the Year, when we get together, I'm fascinated by peeking into the world of a second grade classroom and what kinds of things that teacher does to make learning as exciting and as engaging as possible. I've told my kids that you can learn things from anyone. One thing when I was teaching guitar, I would say one of the best guitar lessons I ever saw was a 14-year-old on YouTube teaching how to play a piece of music. The way he broke it down, the way he slowed it down, the way he presented it, I was like, that's amazing.
So in high school music, you teach a lot of different classes, a lot of different content. What's your favorite?
I have to say, every class has things about it that I love. So I really can't say there's one thing I love more. I love working with string players. I'm an orchestra director, so I work with a string ensemble and a full orchestra, which is great. I've gotten to teach guitar for many years, which has been wonderful. I love that. I'm doing a new class next semester. It's a studio, we call it studio band. It's a modern band class where we're teaching kids to make music with rock instruments, and if they allow a little bit of experience or a lot of experience, all of it, I love all of it at different times. I do love the performing and getting ready for a concert. There's a certain energy and excitement that you can't match with any other kind of class.
So if you could give your students a piece of advice as they move forward, you're teaching students that are getting ready to go into college and things like that. What piece of advice?
Well, I would say keep music in your life. Keep, your ability to play an instrument, your desire to make music with other people. I think socialization that music brings. We're living in a time where we're entertaining ourselves, informing ourselves, getting everything exactly the way we want it. And making music with other people is just this timeless thing that you cannot replace with any other activity. So keep playing your instrument, or pick up another instrument if you like. Play with other people. There's lots of community-based organizations if you want to go that way. There are always like-minded people that want to play music. And there's always people that want to come and hear it. There'll always be people to do that. And keep that love for making music. It will take you places, and you will meet people, and it will teach you things about yourself that you would never imagine. I've gone all over the world. And I've played in all different settings and been in, all because I could play that weird hunk of metal called the trumpet. And it's been wonderful. And it's because I learned music when I was a kid and I stuck with it. And the people I met in college and in graduate school and throughout my teaching career, I never would have had any of that if it wasn't for that old beat up trumpet that I started playing in the 5th grade. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. So you never know where it will take you, and it will always enrich you. It will always enrich your life. Absolutely.
Well, I just want to thank you, Fritz, for sitting down with me.
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for letting me shine some light on an amazing teacher we have right here.
Thank you. Thank you, Aimée. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. And thank all of you for watching.